A little bit of a different setting for a video this week. However, I've got to admit, I am tired. At least I was. A couple of months ago, got to the point where I realised that I needed a little bit of a break. For context, ever since January 2024, I've been out pretty much every weekend since, putting together videos, putting together content for this YouTube channel, doing landscape photography, and it's meant getting up at silly o'clock in the morning, getting out for sunrise, because you know how much I love that golden hour light, but of course it's also because I struggle to do any filming around other people. And it gets to the point where I thought to myself, I need a rest, I need to take a break from landscape photography before I start hating doing all of this. Because don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the creativity. I love the creative side of putting together these YouTube videos, but it's the effort that goes into creating them that can be a little bit tiring. Take the B-roll, for example. Of course, you want to show, you don't want to just tell, you want to share where I'm going to each of these locations. So to do so, I'm potentially setting up the camera, walking however far I need to away from the camera down the road. Then I've got to walk back, pick up the camera itself before I continue along my way. There's the landscape photography itself. Of course, when I go out to these locations, I'm putting together a YouTube video, but as well, I want to be able to enjoy the photography in general. So I need to make sure that any images I get, they're of a decent quality and I'm not missing out on any potential shots. And overall, I do tend to walk a long way when I go out on a lot of locations, not just the hikes I do. I'm often walking 6 to 10 miles for each trip. And then when I get home, it's not done and dusted. I've got to think about the image editing, I've got to think about the video editing. There's a lot of work that goes into putting together just a 10-minute video. I should point out that the break has been helped by the fact that I've just had 10 days down in Cornwall. It's an area, it's a region that I head to pretty much every single summer. I love it down on the coast. In the last couple of years, whenever I've been down there, I've taken the action camera with me. It's somewhere different to go out with the camera. It's somewhere different that I can take you. And I'll usually put together a video or two when I'm down on the Cornish coast. However, I thought I want to do something different. This is all about taking a break in August. I'm not going to do any filming when I'm down on the coast. And that's exactly what I did for the most part. I took the camera with me. I knew I'd want to do some photography down there. I took the action camera because I knew I would want to do a little bit, the bare minimum amount of B-roll when putting together this video. But yeah, it was really nice just being able to focus on the photography for 10 days, going out, not for sunrise, not for sunset, just taking the camera out whenever I'd go out for the day itself. Went out exploring the likes of St Ives, Padstow and Newquay, even went to some new locations like the Lost Gardens of Heligan. And overall, it was equally nice just treading some old familiar hidden gems. Although one thing that I will say was a little bit challenging was the fact that at the same time I was trying to keep Sirius, my 3-year-old golden retriever, under control. It wasn't easy at times when I was trying to get a shot and he'd want to go off, maybe have a sniff at something off to the side, or he'd get bored waiting for me to get the composition just right and he'd be trying to walk off. Old habits do die hard though, and even though I said there was no intention of going out for sunrise or sunset, it's difficult. The landscape photographer in me, it screams to go out for the best conditions, the best light. Photography for the most part, I stuck to going out during the day, didn't go out in the morning at any point. However, there were a couple of occasions where I looked at the forecast, I'd looked at my golden hour apps, and there were a couple of times where it said, look, you're going to get a potentially good sunset. I even got a beautiful sunset over the distant hills from my campsite, which I suppose was cheating in a way because I didn't have to travel anywhere. I just went outside my tent, took the image. Brilliant. If only all types of photography, if only all types of shot were that easy to get. However, I did break my rule. Like I say, habits, they're difficult to let go of. Looked at the forecast, saw 2 nights where I was potentially going to get a nice sunset. So I ended up going out to the Bedruthan steps, had a lovely evening out there with the camera, got some nice shots. And then I went on to Towan Head, just outside Newquay, and I think I ended up with one of my favourite images I'm going to capture in 2025. So in terms of the photography, it wasn't a bad trip by any stretch of the imagination. I'll be honest though, the break, it has done me a world of good. I am feeling refreshed, I am feeling relaxed, and I am ready to get back out with the camera, exploring both old and new locations. And I'm looking forward to taking you with me as we spend the last 4 months of the year doing as much landscape photography as possible. It's actually scary to think that we're into the last 4 months now. Where has 2025 gone? And I'm definitely hoping to explore some new exciting locations before the end of the year. I'm not going to share where I'm hoping to head to just yet, but I'm hoping to do a little bit of car camping in October. It's all weather dependent, so there's the chance it might yet get cancelled. But I think that's it from me. I will see you next week back out on location.